Module 3, Project Page Content. In this module, we will talk about some of the specific content you will need for your project pages. Full project description. This is the section of your project page that shows who your group is, what project your group is working on, and why it's important that people support you on your main project page. This is where you really tell the story of your project and persuade people to join you. Here, you are answering 3 questions that can guide your content. Who are we? Keep it personal, introduce the organization or department or group of people working on this particular project. This should contain a few sentences about your group, and it can include your mission and any other important highlights you think are necessary to tell your reader who you are and what you are doing. Why are we raising this money? Make sure to state the need. You're really trying to increase a feeling of urgency and focus on the project you're fundraising for, and share why it's important that you raise funds and what kind of impact it will have on Northwestern. And the third question is, how can you help? You want people to feel like they can help out by giving, and it's important that you do have to ask them directly to give, as well as sharing and spreading the word, whether that be on social media, to their friends, or their networks in general. Make sure to keep these paragraphs concise. You can use pictures to break up long chunks of text, and you want this to be consumable so people can read it and feel invested in your story. Uploading your project description. You will have submitted your project description for review in your project template materials, and once they are approved by your staff liaison, you will upload them on GiveCampus, the platform that we use to create your project pages. In GiveCampus, log in and navigate to Campaigns, find your campaign and settings. On the left-hand bar, you'll click Basics in the screenshot below, and fill out the About Your Campaign section with the content that was approved by the staff liaison. Once you have entered it in and are happy with how it is looking on there, you can scroll down and click Update Campaign so that it will save. We recommend using basic text effects like bold to highlight section headings or urgent sentences. You really want to make sure that this is quickly and easily readable for a potential donor. In addition to your project description, you will also be putting images on your project page, and this will kind of help you select media for your project. The first image that you will need is a campaign card image, which will display on the home page, and it will have a 600 by 400 or 3:2 ratio. This is technically optional, but is highly recommended, as otherwise the image will be generated automatically from your video, which I will talk about in the next module. So this is the first image on the home page of Catalyzer that people will see and be enticed to click on your page. You're going to see on your project page an option called Background Hero Image. You can ignore this. This is a standardized image across all projects and will be uploaded by your staff liaison. Additional images can be used in custom content sections, which will be discussed on the next slide. But some things to consider in general when selecting images is pick photos that are engaging, ideally including people in your group. Make sure that you have permission to use the images you select from anyone who may be in those images, and submit all the images to your staff liaison for feedback. In addition to the images for your project page, in the custom content sections that we'll talk about on the next slide, you'll also need to provide 4 or 5 additional photos for ARD, or Alumni Relations and Development, to use for digital promotion of your projects. We will post on social media promoting the projects, as well as send emails out to alumni, so we want to make sure to have some images that can highlight your project and make sure that it looks exciting to donors. So action shots are preferred to still group shots. Good lighting and high resolution will improve the chances of photos being used. And please remember and be mindful that these photos will be shared with university donors and a wider audience, so make sure that the content in general is appropriate. Of course, it will be reviewed by the staff liaison ahead of time. Custom content sections. So as mentioned on the previous slides, you have your campaign card image, and you'll have a video and full project description on your page. But custom content sections are where you can add additional media and content to your page beyond just those initial features. So we encourage you to be creative with this section. You have a total of 5 custom content sections you can add, which will be featured on your page. So some examples of how you can use custom content sections are project owner bios. This is probably the most consistent one that I've seen groups use. So adding a quick bio for each leader of your project group, maybe some information about what they're studying, why they're involved with this group, what their role is in the group, things like that. Social media toolkits. So, if you want to provide sample social media posts for people who might want to share your page and become advocates of your project, or images from previous versions of your project, if that's applicable. So, for example, if you are a group that puts on an annual event or has done something similar to your current project, you may want to highlight images from previous versions to help people visualize what your project will look like and make it more exciting to the donors.